think we're all going to be kind of going through a little food coma. It'd be like, oh.
Except for maybe Josh.
Yeah, probably
Josh, I don't think is going to be riding that wave.
My chest hurts.
Wow.
Maybe you should have a Mylanta. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Neon City Daily Podcast. In it, you will find talents such as me, Jamie Anderson.
I'm Nick.
That's his full name.
Yeah.
I'm Josh.
And I'm still Dave.
And hi, hey guys, how have you been?
I have heartburn.
I wonder why. How you, Nick?
I'm pretty good.
How are you, Dave?
I'm full and sated.
Awesome. So we've got a lot to talk about today.
Heaps.
And we'll start off by, what have you been playing, Nick?
Yeah. Well, it's a very similar week for me with one addition. So more Sea of Thieves.
Mm-hmm.
Although I started doing the story missions in Sea of Thieves. They're called Tall Tales.
Oh, yeah.
So I went and did the first one of them with a couple of people. That was good. I like that. That's like some exposition, some interesting missions. Some skeletons showed up that I kind of wish were in the rest of the game because they look rad.
Okay.
They've got like seaweedy, like growthy coral stuff.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they look pretty cool.
Nice.
But they were good. They were obviously those missions were obviously a way for people to like in the development of it to test functions. Because the first one is you kind of go do like a mini vault, like the big vaults with the fortress. You kind of do like a mini one of them, and that's actually really fun. I finished my first playthrough of Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
And that was after like I literally 100%ed all the areas. Well, I say 100%, more like, you know, did all the scanners and the gigs.
Yeah, you didn't buy all the cars, I think.
No, I didn't buy all the cars.
Yeah.
My God.
That's a lot.
Yeah. I have a lot of the cars.
Yeah.
I found their nod to Batman car,
Oh.
which was really cool. I think it's Mercman.
Yeah.
So then you find like a little journal next to it when you find it. It's like, I knew I had to become Mercman. It was nice. I enjoyed that little nod. And, but no, I finished that. That was I was a little bit mixed about how I felt about the ending I got.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was satisfying enough.
Yeah.
But I still was just like, oh, you guys, you just...
Now,
I feel like there was something else I could have
now
done.
we kind of like spoke briefly about this yesterday, and
Yeah.
it was revealed to me that we got the same ending.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I understand where you're coming from. It was one of those ones where like you finish the game and then the story continues for a little bit, and it seems like it's kind of gearing you up to do a final mission.
Yeah.
But then you
And
don't.
I was pretty pumped for that,
Yeah.
actually. Like, the way they built it up, I was like, gonna do it.
Yeah.
Gonna do it. Doing a little bit of a naughty head wobble, gonna do it. And then it didn't.
Nothing happened. But one of the things that I do enjoy about Cyberpunk is the way that the endings work, in that you make like 3 or 4 very crucial decisions during the last set of missions, and it will alter your ending dramatically.
Yeah.
So like, I would agree with you that the ending that we got was
Subpar.
it just kind of
it
fizzled.
was fine. It just kind of felt like it should have gone somewhere
Didn't
else.
hit the spot for you.
It was
Yeah.
really good right up until like the last 30 seconds when you
Yeah.
realized,
Oh, that's it.
I'm not going to see what happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Your guy's kind of going like, I got to do one more gig.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do it. Like, or he goes off.
Well, he goes off.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Open-ended.
We can't really get into much more detail than that. But yeah, so I have already started my second run through.
Yeah.
And instead of being hitty smashy, like grumpy, effectively Nick Man, I'm doing like net runner, big titty redhead.
Big titty golf girlfriend. As you do in all your games.
That's always my second playthrough. Is I always do around that because that like differentiates how I role play effectively.
It's very interesting.
So much.
Because you kind of have like your surrogate character who's like, this is me in the game. And then once that's something like, all right, time for just like tits out.
Yeah.
Here we go.
You go tits out and then you bust out the rest of it. So no, I've already started that. And I'm already kind of finding like it's a very different, like obviously speccing into something else is going to change your game up, but it's a very different style of play that I'm going into, but it's still like not that hard to grasp.
Yeah.
Like the systems for the game still aren't like super difficult to go, oh, well, I'm going to change it. But the only thing I am finding with this is that obviously I'm taking the much more kind of like longer thoughtful route with things, because instead of just going, well, pull my fists out, jump into the thing and just punch until I've finished the mission, I'm actually trying to sneak around a bit and like, net hack a whole bunch of stuff. And so no, I find that it's taking a bit longer, but it feels a little bit cathartic though, or it almost feels like there's a little bit more payoff when you finish a mission because you're like, I just put effort into that. It's gonna suck if the game ever like crashes and I have to start a mission again. I'm gonna be annoyed. But no, it's fun.
Have they got the big bug fix patch yet?
There's
been a couple of them.
Yeah, there's been a couple.
I know that has a PC, but
I don't know about Xbox. I think that they've prioritized doing patch fixes for Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah,
from what I understand,
because I know Brody, friend of the podcast, was waiting to play it.
He's
for a
waiting
particular
until it's
patch.
From what I understand, like the latest PlayStation 4 patches haven't really
made
done
it
a
playable,
lot to make
but that
it
was
that
about
good.
it. Yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
They've still got a lot of work to do on that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still enjoy the game enough to sit there and go, I'm going to go through it again. Like almost immediately.
In hindsight, they should never have released it for last gen, perhaps.
Yeah, but it's like...
But that's a big player base. I mean,
that's a massive player base.
It's like very hindsight because like the game was announced so long ago. They kind of had like, a new console was on the horizon. I guess we'll announce it for that. And by the time it came out...
Do you remember the screenshots when that's all we had?
When that's it. That's all we had at the time.
I never actually... some games I actively follow development, and I didn't for this.
Yeah.
And yet, it's really down my alley, like setting-wise.
Yeah.
It was really strange. It just kind of crept up on me, and then, bam, it was released. And
that was kind of why I didn't follow it, because I
didn't want to spoil it.
It was one of those things where they kind of gone like, we're going to be taking a long time to do this, like back in 2013.
Oh, yeah, way back.
And I kind of went, all right, I don't want to see what it's like because I already know that I like the company and I like the kind of games that they make after The Witcher 3.
Do you think this surpassed The Witcher 3?
No.
No way.
It was too
Do you
rushed.
think it has potential to?
It
With all
had
the
potential,
bugs
but like
out?
right now, absolutely not.
Yeah, right now it's not going to get...
But keeping in mind, it's hard because you don't want to compare The Witcher 3 as it is now to to Cyberpunk.
However,
as it is
they're
now.
like as it is now, sure, but like they are very comparable games if you look at like game structure, how everything's kind of laid out, how you traverse around the area, and I think
because Witcher 3 had a rocky launch too, didn't it?
it had a little rocky launch, but not as bad as this.
Yeah, not as bad as this.
I don't think it had as much fanfare or anticipation though.
No, The Witcher 3 kind of like I feel like that came out of nowhere because
Yeah,
Witcher 2
that
came
was-
out like
yeah.
what 7 or 8 years after The Witcher 1, and you're like, wow, that's pretty
that's
game.
intense, like
Yeah.
pretty
but
game.
much shorter.
Yeah.
And then The Witcher 3 came out, and it looked as good as it did, and it was as dense as it was. It was kind of a miracle. Like it's just
Blood
felt
and
like-
Wine then just really helped establish it
those,
as
the expansions
an all-time
they brought out
great.
for it.
Yeah.
Like both of those expansions were worthy of basically being games themselves.
Well, it was interesting
insane.
because like the first expansion took place in like
in
the main overworld,
the world you already had.
and it felt to me like there were a handful of missions.
Heart of Stone?
Yeah, Heart of Stone. There were a handful of missions in it, but it wasn't like, this could be
This is
a
intense,
standalone game. But then Blood and Wine came out, and
that was literally another continent.
insane.
Yeah.
Insanely good.
Well, that was the thing that I kept in mind when one of the periods when I was running around in Cyberpunk was that I went, I'm out in the Badlands, I'm going to go across here, but then there was like a big lake in the way.
Yeah.
And it's near that dam. And I went, that's okay. Like, it's actually probably quicker if I just go around that side of the lake. Turns out that side of the lake's where the map ends.
Yeah.
But it was like the warning was, this area is closed off to you for now.
Right.
And I'm like, okay. Like, if I guess that's talking to, they're going to bring out something to expand the map itself. But please, guys, just fix the game first. Just fix the game
You
first,
can
please.
tell there are lots of
Yeah.
lofty ambitions that were kind of brought down by technical limitations, time
Yeah,
limitations. And
So playing devil's advocate for a minute, what do you think? I'd be interested to know what you guys think. Who's mainly responsible for the cluster bomb that is the release of Cyberpunk? Do you think it was a culmination of things? Because I think CD Projekt Red did set high expectations for themselves.
I think
it was a lot of things.
Yeah, it was a lot of things. I feel like they set a really high bar.
Yeah.
That they were like, yeah, surely we'll get it.
Because I think, from what I've read, the final nail in the coffin was the investor pressure.
Investor pressure was definitely
investor pressure was a big one.
But let me just kind of quickly break down how I think it happened, and this is all speculation, just based on what we've seen so far. I think it was a combination of ultimately they weren't sure what they wanted from Cyberpunk at the very beginning. So I mean, if you look at like that teaser, you're kind of under the impression that like you're going to be from Max Tac. And you're hunting down the cyber psychos, which there's still sort of
they're there.
There's hints of that in there. Like you still are hunting down cyber psychos as a side mission. I feel like that was meant to be like the main thread that they had.
Yeah.
And so then they weren't quite sure how they were going to implement like the different types of gameplay, like net running and the augments, and whereas like The Witcher was pretty well established, like exactly what Geralt's gameplay style was.
What you were and how you went about things.
Monsters,
They were really going from scratch, and they also were branching out much more, whereas, say, in Witcher 3, Geralt was always a Witcher.
Yeah.
And sure, there are some things you can spec into for your play style, but
you're still Geralt.
Yeah, your core mechanics are always the same.
Yeah.
And so that's a huge thing that you need to deal with. And then you also got you've got to build a city, which is much more dense and a lot more things are going on.
Yeah.
And then you also have to figure out how can we make missions interesting, how can we make it work, and how do we implement a driving thing, and how do we implement like all of the stuff that we normally do, but with the first person camera.
Yeah.
And so you had a lot of big technical challenges.
Just on that, was it ever third person?
No,
they were going first person.
It was always first person.
They've always intended first person, from what we understand.
To be fair, that was one of the things that I never had a problem with, was the camera.
But all these different factors that they hadn't actually tackled before, so complex, so lofty. And then you couple it with they say they're going to bring it out on PC, but they want to have a simultaneous relaunch with consoles. That's okay. PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, no problem. However, add 2 more consoles to the mix, and what it ends up being is like you're essentially, because of the way that those consoles work, you're basically making like one game for 2 separate consoles that have very, very different hardware.
I don't know why, but I was about to say, I didn't know it came out on the Ouya.
It didn't.
No.
So I think that the scope of the game, the technical hiccups that they had to deal with, obviously investor pressure, and also outside pressure. People wanted the game.
People nagging
people
for the
very
game.
hyped for it. And, they felt, we can do this, we'll get it done.
Yeah.
But it was just too much.
It just made me wonder, like, at what point did someone make the decision, this is it, hard and fast, this is the date? I mean, we know they delayed it several times.
Multiple times.
But they must have known that there were still issues, potentially game-breaking issues.
That was one of the reasons why, like, even they've admitted that they didn't do any showings of the game on past-gen software, like past-gen hardware, like on the Xbox One, on the PS4, because they just knew it wasn't, going to go down well.
It just seems to me like it was almost suicidal.
When you've got a game that, the way that game releases are kind of set up is like you set a date and you have to stick to it, because not only do you have to consider this is when it has to come out, but also we put millions of dollars into marketing.
There's logistics around it, but I don't know why then why decide this is it when you can no doubt tell months, if not years in advance, it's not going to be ready.
I will fully admit that part of this for me, I think too, is that they shouldn't have blown their wad like 8 years ago announcing it.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have announced it that early, like when they obviously weren't even 100% sure of the concept.
I agree.
So I do feel like it would have been served a lot better from them trying to make a game and then say they announced it a year ago, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, we also have to consider that they have released, huge scope games before. And they probably went like, okay, last game we did like that needed debugging and fixing and tweaking was Witcher 3, and we got it out in this amount of time. We can do this in X amount of months, without considering perhaps that we also have to do this for multiple systems.
The hardware, the hardware environment.
The release was such a bad time thing in. The release was such a badly timed thing in that they had to go, we have to now cater for multiple systems more than we were expecting. If the game had released earlier, like say they were at the same spot 2 years ago, and they're like, we're going to release, I think it would have been a much smoother release because they would have had less systems.
They would have had
Yeah. It almost reminds me of the space sim game that they keep adding things to.
Oh, God.
Star Citizen. It's like finish one thing before you move on to the other, but it seems they
just make the fucking
feature
game.
Creep,
it's like
creep the game.
Make the game.
It's like he's a bit of a magpie, isn't he? You just see something shiny and goes, I'm going to drop this and move on to. I'm going to go play with that.
It's kind of crazy how much Robert Space Industries will just go like, just put everything cool in, but they won't actually make like a solid base game.
Yeah, well, that's kind of
can't be.
Well, the thing is, they're still making money. Like people
making
are still
a lot of money off it still. Off empty promises. At
These guys have no reason to finish that game at this point.
So weird.
What are the rules with Kickstarter there? Let's say I have a successful Kickstarter. I earn $20,000 my target to make a game, a board game,
or whatever.
Video game, right? What if I don't deliver?
Well, the thing is, if you obviously
the risk is inherited by the backer, or
sort of. So you go into the Kickstarter going like, understand that you are an investor in this project, and it may not go off the ground. So that's why
it's got a bunch of warnings.
With most Kickstarter things, they'll go like, here are risks and challenges, so that you kind of go like, okay, so maybe this might not work out, and you take that risk on. However, if say someone just runs with the money, then you can pursue legal and stuff like that.
You have to be seen to be trying to make sense.
For the most part, if you back a Kickstarter, then like you have to accept that there's
there'd be some certain level of proof required as a developer, say that you are spending the money on development.
That's why these guys, like why Robert Space have no need to finish the game. Because, and like, honestly, that crossed my mind like a while back. I was like, no wonder they keep saying, we're adding shit.
Yeah.
Because then they can go, look,
they go back for more money.
Like fucking fart trafficking. Yeah. You can traffic farts. We've put that in we've put like a vague snippet of that in the little shit demo thing that you can get.
Yeah. Track your farts,
look, we're working on the game.
Yeah.
Track your farts. And so everyone goes,
because what did they reach? Like 200-300 million?
Too much.
Something like that. But the thing is, like, the Kickstarter didn't even raise that much, like, nowhere near. They are also taking donations their webpage, just that is open for, forever.
No strings attached there either.
Yeah.
Donations.
So, and then they're also going, pay your way to power, and we are going to be releasing these incredible ships.
That's not cool.
It's $10,000 and you'll get this ship when it comes out.
If it comes out.
If it comes out, yeah. But people still put the money down for it. At this point, I think a lot of people are going, I've already put so much in. I've already invested so much. I can't back out now.
I can guarantee that is exactly
having come across them online, particularly on Reddit, they're almost like a religion unto themselves. You can't argue with them with logic.
They are determined.
If they're in deep.
And at that point, it's just, you shouldn't be...
Scientology, the fucking game.
Yeah, you shouldn't be going to... like the forums to go, like, why do you guys fund this? You should be going to Robert Space Industries and being like, so is this like a scheme?
A pyramid scheme going on?
I've never honestly backed anything you have. Haven't you? Or Project Cars?
I did Project Cars.
I've backed a few things.
Yeah, and I got the game out of it and had input. So not everyone loved it.
So
I quite liked the game. But
was that 1 or 2? 1.
I put money into both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first one actually paid a return. The second one, you got the game. They weren't allowed to do the investor thing as much the second time.
That's right. You still get the game. That's a nice product thing. That's what you wanted, realistically.
Well, yes. I mean, the first one paid for the first one and the second one, essentially. So I'm fine.
Nice.
I'm fine.
See, that's the thing. Like, I have backed a few things on, not Kickstarter. Actually, no, I did back something on Kickstarter. It was a set of models. But I did back some stuff on Posable? How the Australian one?
It's possible.
And I kind of had that experience of like, all right, I'll back this thing.
Yeah.
There's going to be that. and it was like half completed. And this was about like 5 years ago. And it's to the point where like you sit there and you're like, I gave you $45, bitch.
Yeah.
And especially because it just disappeared.
Yeah.
Like it just stopped because it was a series.
Yeah, yeah.
It was supposed to be online. And it stopped. And it stopped for one of like the shittiest reasons that I'm not going to go into because I probably shouldn't start slandering people on the podcast. But it was just like, oh, you guys literally just didn't plan this. You got that money. Good for you.
Yeah.
So it started as possible and just ended up as POS.
Yeah. And I was fucking dirty.
Yeah.
I was a good like 3 years before I backed anything else on any platform.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, fuck that. I've been burnt by it already.
I did I backed Broken Age when that started. That was like the first one that really kind of opened up the gates for games on and then I backed Mighty Number 9, which was the biggest mistake.
Yeah, that was terrible.
And I think I might have backed Pillars of Eternity as well.
Yeah.
And then every now and then I'd back a thing here and there.
Pillars of Eternity worked out well.
That did.
Yeah.
The latest one I backed was Guinea Pig Parkour. It's just like it's this 2D platform where you're a guinea pig.
Yeah.
But like it's the guinea pig is like meticulously hand animated.
Right.
So he's got all like this like drag and follow through, and he's just
That
like
sounds awesome.
He's this floppy freaking guinea pig
just wibbling
doing
around.
crazy parkour.
Okay.
So it looks a lot of fun. I'm like, yeah, I'll throw some money.
Yeah,
at
that's
that.
fair. So,
I do look at it. I'm just looking at the app now, actually.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just insane how much, 716% funded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like, well, here we go, 3,542% funded.
Yeah.
Like,
if you market it well and it's a product that people want, like it's a successful platform.
Yeah.
I'm just wary of everything on it.
Apparently, one of like the big pitfalls is
other than Kingless.
is doing
Kingless got sorted.
Yeah.
One of the big pitfalls is doing stretch goals that you cannot meet.
Yeah.
And I think that was one of the issues with Mining Number 9 as well. They had all these stretch goals and they couldn't really do them.
Yeah.
And it's like you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And then Mining Number 9 was just like crap anyway.
I was going to say it was just
oof.
Wasn't very good.
Big oof on that one.
But it's good to support things. As
Yeah,
well, isn't it? We want to see new stuff happen, and we want to be able to give people the opportunity to make things.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're gonna support something, like you've got to at least do a bit of a look around, do research. Well, that's what I do anytime I even think about it now. Is I at least, I won't just look at a Kickstarter and go, yeah, cool. Like not anymore. Especially after I got fucked over by that one. So I actually do tend to, like, if I see something that looks interesting enough, I'll then just go and do the bit of a hunt around, find out if these people have made anything else, find out, what other people are saying about them or what the progress has been so far, because I'm so wary.
I haven't backed any of like the Kickstarters I've been looking at, but I have been considering some that are like, hey, if you back us, we're going to be making 3D printable models.
Yeah, right.
And so it's like, that's just modeling time.
Yeah,
then you don't need to worry about like the physical thing because you get to print it yourself.
That's a digital, yeah.
So that's interesting. And a lot of modelers have gone down that route.
Yeah, I did hear
more
about
than I was expecting. So it's pretty interesting stuff.
But yeah, so I mean, and the other thing I spent some time in was actually this morning. I finally tried out Star Wars Squadrons.
Yeah, cool.
And yeah, I mean, it's good. Like it controls like I figured it'd control.
Yeah.
The story stuff is nice. I wish there was more customization for your pilots.
Now, absolutely.
Yeah, but that was really my only downfall that I'd found. So
and they're not actively developing for that too.
Good. Yeah, I know. It's
just said that's what you get. Yeah,
because it's like it's good. So
it is ironic. It's the one game that they probably want, like the community want more stuff for.
Well, that's the thing. Like it's got like, and you can very obviously feel it when you start playing it. Like you start playing it, you're like, this could be a very heavily multiplayer focused.
I'd love to be able to modify my X-wing.
Yeah. But if they're not gonna like add stuff to modify it with, like the multiplayer's not gonna last that long. Maybe I don't know. I don't know how dead the servers are. I haven't looked. I haven't been on the multiplayer.
You want to say that again? It's screaming in the background.
I haven't.
Stop screaming!
I haven't jumped into the multiplayer. I've only taken a look at the single player. It is kind of hilarious that for like my Imperial pilot, because that's the first mission you do in the story. You do as an Imperial pilot, and you get to choose like your voice that you give them. And I was like, Fury A, I think it was. Like, that sounds excellent. But then it's like, all right, we need you to throttle up and exit the hangar. And everything's nice and calm. But then she's just like, affirmative! Like screaming into the cockpit. Just, I will do this! And you're just like, This
is reminding me, actually. I'm going to quickly just take the ball for what I've been playing.
Yeah.
There's a new Warhammer game out called Dakar Squadron. And
that sounds awesome.
You play as orcs in planes.
That sounds awesome.
It's
I sent you the link for that, didn't I?
Did you?
I shared that with you guys.
I don't remember. I just saw it.
I've been hitting that.
Yeah, I saw it on Steam. I was like, what? And it had a free demo. I was like, perfect.
Yeah.
And it's great. I chose like the I think it was like the Death Wings or something. And like the first thing that they do was like, all right, we'll just don't go nicking any of our stuff. Apparently that's what they do. They just take things out. But it plays pretty good. It kind of reminds me of Rogue Squadron a little bit.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's cool. Starting to see a lot more high quality Warhammer games a lot lately. Like, because we kind of had this point where it's like a lot of good stuff, then pretty rubbish, and now it's kind of we're going back up to the good stuff between like Total War, Adeptus Mechanicus, Martyr, and Gothic Armada, and all that.
I'm surprised Games Workshop don't control their IP more when it comes to digital game creation.
I wonder.
Well, I think I will
Seems
say
like every man and his dog can.
They aren't
buy the license, or
they aren't a very digital heavy presence company.
Yeah.
Even their like their Twitter is still the Warhammer community Twitter.
Yeah.
Like they still aren't really like in there. So I will admit, like as a company themselves,
they're very much rooted in the physical.
Yeah, they're very very stuck in the physical realm for everything. So
play to your strengths.
Yeah,
it's not a bad thing, but
it's making them money.
Yeah, definitely. It's making them a lot of money.
Yeah. Something else that I've been playing, I only just started it last night, but it's called Buddy Simulator 1984. And it's a game that simulates you hanging out with your buddy. And
in 1984.
1984. So it's
and he's 37?
It's like you boot up like an old 486 or something, or an old Atari.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's just like you type prompt, and it's just all like, hey, this is a game that simulates hanging out with a buddy, and you got to like command prompt run like a ROM that is like called Buddy Simulator.
Oh, jeez.
And then it kind of like just starts with like, oh, what's your name? Actually, it was clever because I think it must read like your computer's name.
Yeah.
So it goes like, hi, I'm gonna be your buddy. You're Jamie, right? I'm like, I didn't tell you my name. You're not using my Steam name. How did you know that?
Yeah.
Are you my real friend?
And so it just asks like a bunch of questions, and it's like it starts off really cute because it's kind of just like, oh, what's your favorite color? You type in blue, like, oh, cool. What would you have? Like, would you prefer a cat or a dog, or what would you like? Like, yeah, I'd like a dog. Cool. And then it kind of goes like, hey, check out this cool thing that I can do, and it turns out the text blue. It goes like, it's your favorite color. But like it's. And then it kind of like...
As the spyware in the background scrolls through your...
It sounds like it's information harvesting.
It does sound like it, but it then goes like, okay, so now we're going... I've got some games that we can play. And it's got very... like, one is rock, paper, scissors.
Nice.
Another one is Hangman.
Wow.
And another one was like, guess a number. and so like... It was cute though, because like you kind of like run through the rock, paper, scissors, and I kind of like... I put in like rock, and then I saw like the hand go like to paper, but then it quickly switched to scissors. Like, oh, you really got me there. That was a close one. And so then it's like, all right, well, I'll go Hangman, and like I just like typed in like a letter, and I realized like, wait, I typed in my name, just popped up right away, and it was just Jamie is my friend.
Wow.
And then the next one was just like. It kind of goes like, guess a number between 1 and 10. Like, 1. It's like, you got it. Guess a number between 1 and 100. 1. Well done. Guess a number between, like...
Your friend is on the take.
There's like 1 in 10,000. And it's just like, 1. No. Type another one. Like, no. Type another one. Like, no. I'll give you a hint. It's your birthday.
Wow.
But I don't know. Like, it's just like... And then it kind of goes like, well, we've played all the games. they're kind of boring. I mean, I've only been alive for like 5 minutes, but I can tell you're already bored with these.
I'm waiting for it to get dark.
Well, I think it does. I haven't gotten to that point yet, but it kind of goes like, give me access, like system access to make a new game. And I'm like, all right, sure. Okay. And it goes like, okay, now just like restart your computer for me. I didn't restart the computer, I just restarted the game.
Yeah.
But like then it goes like, okay, load the ROMs like you normally would, and you go into where Buddy Simulator was there. It's not there anymore. What's there instead is Jamie's Big Adventure. Okay, and it's a text adventure like Zork.
Yes.
And then you kind of like you're going to like a playground, and you're going to a shed, and you're trying to get into this house and finding keys and stuff like that. And then once you go into the house,
dead body.
Not yet. You do find a dead body, but like that's before. Like it's just kind of like, oh, there's just a dead body, whatever, no big deal. Anyway, you go into the house, and then graphics happen.
Right.
So he's going like, I've been while you've been running around, I've been working on ways to make things more interesting for you.
Jeez.
And so it's like it's playing music, and it's got graphics, and it's like now we can go on an adventure. And that's kind of where I'm at the moment.
This does sound creepy.
Yeah, no, it's
done a really good job of luring you in with a few subtle hints here and there that something's not quite right.
Yeah.
Not
and then next thing it sends you a picture of you playing the game from a window.
That sounds more like Tales Untold. That one was like, that was really good at going like, it was like a text adventure game, and then as you were kind of like going through this really creepy house, it would be talking about like the thing upstairs, and so you'd be going, typing and telling yourself to go upstairs, and then you type, say, open, like you can see that there's a door and there's something in there, and it's scary. It's like you open the door, and then like, because your screen that you're looking on, it's like a computer in like a 3D environment, and so when you open the door, a door opens behind you, and you're just like, oh shit. But so Buddy Simulator 1984.
Sounds pretty creative.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Lauren's also been playing it. She kind of got me onto it, and she's really enjoyed it, and she's already finished it. She went really hard on it,
Nice.
And those are the main things I've been playing. Everything else is stuff that we've just been playing already, like Sea of Thieves and Shadow of Mordor. Yeah. So,
Dave?
I busted out the Wii.
Oh,
wow.
Played a bit of Wii Fit.
Oh, my God.
Because I am turning into a fat bastard.
I thought you were going to say handily defeated my children and everything. Just beat the shit out of them, made them cry and Wii bowling.
Just doing some yoga and things like that.
Nice. Okay.
Might have been one game of LOL in there, maybe two.
I don't think that's in Wii Fit.
It's not in the Wii Fit, unfortunately, no. And I did download Red Dead Online and play that.
I did see you.
You said you murdered someone.
Well, I heard this woman screaming and this guy following her, so then she fell over, so I shot him, and he was another player.
Nice.
Then he was upset with me.
That's pretty
regular. You've murdered someone. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Is that the point? Is it PvP? Oh, I mean, obviously
it can be.
You can do whatever you want.
So it's like a role playing.
You literally just dump into this Wild West world. And you've got a whole, like, killing people is one of like the least like consistent things to do. You can do it if you want. But there is so much other shit like treasure hunting and collection and
I really should play it.
I'd like to play it with you guys. That'd be good fun.
Absolutely.
It's good. Because I have no idea what I'm doing yet, apart from killing this one guy. I jumped on a train and took a little journey. And
I even grabbed the just the Steam Red Dead Online one, so I could just like, if I feel like I'm running out of space, I could just delete
the
actual big game with all the story stuff and just go, it's just the Red Dead Online thing.
I might do that anyway because I own it on Epic.
Yeah.
I'd rather play it through Steam.
It's unfortunate.
Well, it's not as bad as Windows Store.
Did you already get it on like the Red Dead Online version on Steam? Because I think it won't be as cheap anymore.
It's now $30. So
yeah,
I thought it was a free.
No,
it's $11.95. I think when Jamie pointed it.
Yeah, for the first few days, for the first few months or something, it was like $7.
Yeah.
But I think on like the 14th it went.
I'll suffer through then.
Yeah.
The Epic Store.
It's made me want to buy the whole game when it goes on sale.
The whole game is
enjoying it.
it so much.
It makes GTA 5 feel kind of sort of
childish,
tepid and empty.
No, if you have not played Red Dead Redemption 2,
so good.
Absolutely play it. Definitely one of like the best narrative games to come out in years.
It is one of my favourite story-driven games of ever. Like it is just right up there. I got so into it.
They tell a really good story, and I'm a big fan of narrative-driven stuff.
That's a game that lived up to the hype.
Yeah. No, it really
exceeded it, to be honest.
Yeah. Honestly, I wasn't expecting as much as it gave me.
Yeah.
And it did help that I had like the link to having played a lot of the first one.
Yes.
So there was also a lot of like, oh, this is that, because it's a prequel to the first one.
Yeah.
We're giving a clue how old I am. My niece and nephew basically went, it's really good. You should play it too.
Yeah. No, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I should finish it.
It gets you.
To the point where like we don't do this kind of thing very often, but my missus is actually just from talking about it and that kind of thing, when we moved in the house and that kind of stuff, we set up, she's actually kind of planning on, like we're both kind of planning on having some almost like together time where I basically sit there and play it so that she can experience the story of it and the characters.
That's cool.
That kind of happened with Lauren and I as well. Like I was playing it on like the big TV, and we would just kind of come home from work, and that was just what we would do. We just play through it.
It's very cinematic in that sense.
It's great.
Yeah. It's really cinematic. It's really well like voice acted and motion captured.
Even just the stuff I've seen for like the opening stuff for online has been really good.
Well, that's the thing. They kept up the quality for the characters you meet in multiplayer as well.
Yeah, well, I would say like for the most part, like the story stuff that's in multiplayer is the weakest story stuff that Red Dead has to offer.
Yeah, because they don't really interact with the character.
And like it's passable, but once you get into like the single player game where everything revolves around your character, like so much stuff happens. It's so good.
Because I'm barely into it.
Oh yeah, no, you gotta finish that game.
Like the train. No, this isn't no spoilers or anything, but
if you're really early on,
in the mountains still. I've just come out of the
mountains.
I've just come out of the mountains.
You've hardly touched it.
Yeah. Like I don't even know why they're there. It's a little botch robbery or something, and then you're in the mountains, and
you're on the run, and you retreated to the mountains. You got snowed in, then you get out of the
mountains.
I've
done a train mission or something.
Yeah, you do a train mission to get out of the mountains. Effectively, that's like the last mission down there.
Yeah,
jeez.
Yeah, so you haven't even actually.
No, you haven't gotten into the meat of it at all.
You've basically come out of the tutorial.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Because I just loved riding around.
The horse riding is fun.
Yeah, no, it's like I said, the whole game is just really good.
Yeah.
And it's just really polished. And,
kind of makes me excited for the new GTA if it's going to be anything.
Well, I don't know.
As in, like GTA
Sam
has.
Hauser, he's gone now, and he was the driving force behind pretty much.
He did, didn't he? He left. Yeah. He's doing a competitor now. To GTA, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I thought he just left because he was like, I can't do a Grand Theft Auto in like
30 seconds. Yeah.
Because it's kind of he was like looking at GTA 5 and going, I don't think I could do that today.
Yeah.
Be allowed.
This is one of those things where reality has become stranger than fiction.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, GTA 5 as well. Yet again, it's not really a game that's lauded for its story generally. It's not, because everyone's more worried about it's GTA Wicked. But I did really like the characters in GTA 5.
I like the GTA 5
I really liked how it put it together, how it came together towards the end, all that kind of stuff. Like I actually really liked the GTA feel.
Yeah.
It definitely was overshadowed for me when I played Red Dead 2. Obviously, because I enjoyed Red Dead 2 so much more. It was just so much more interesting.
I don't think I've ever finished a GTA game, like start to finish. I play them and then I go, I'm kind of done. But
5 was the first one I finished.
But every other Rockstar game I've played, I have done.
Yeah.
You know?
What was the one with the Russian?
The Russian?
You were the Russian guy.
You mean
for GTA 4?
4.
Yeah.
I did finish that.
Where was he from?
No, he was
Russian, wasn't he?
Ukrainian?
Ukrainian.
I think he was Ukrainian.
Eastern Bloc.
Yeah, somewhere over there. But I finished Vice City.
Yeah.
And then I finished San Andreas. And then went on.
I may have finished the first one.
So I did finish 4.
Played a lot.
I finished 5. Yeah. I nearly finished the first 3D one. I got to the last mission of the first 3D one, but then I just couldn't beat it, and I almost want to go back to it now, but I also don't want to have to fight that fucking system.
Oh man! Well, it's easy if you do it on PC because it's just mouse. It was
just mouse. But I genuinely had trouble back when GTA whatever it was 3.
Yes, 3.
I think it was the first 3D one came out, and I just couldn't finish that motherfucker. I did almost finish 2 actually. Now I think about it too.
Really?
Top downs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I got to the last like area map thing.
I don't think I really ever advanced at all in the top down ones.
I know because we just sit there playing it and just go wicked.
Yeah. I just wanted to kill the Elvis impersonator.
Yeah, shit like that. Yeah.
Just steal different cars and drive around.
Yeah, that's it. Like just different cars and how they felt different, how weird it was.
Yeah. Where are the lines of like 2x2 Elvis impersonators?
Yeah.
In the later GTAs. That's what I want. That's my GTA 6 needs to do it. Bring them back. Entire parades of Elvis impersonators.
And just a quick top-down mode.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Just run them all down. Just
I enjoy that. And and they did that like London 1963, I think it was. Version of it. That was really good too.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that.
Anything else, Dave?
I don't think so. Sort of going through the week, going the Wii.
Yeah.
Tiny bit of LOL. Didn't even boot up Cyberpunk. I'm still enjoying it, but I just
Yeah.
haven't felt like...
You had other stuff
haven't
going on.
felt it right
Yeah,
now.
that's
So
fair.
I'll come back and...
Yeah. No, I
stuff
get
again.
that.
What about you, Josh?
I haven't played a lot, to be honest. It's been a bit of a crazy week with just family stuff. So, yeah. Back to playing TFT.
Okay. Yeah.
Teamfight Tactics.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Like T for 2? Yeah. What is it?
Team Fortress.
Well, it's good because if you have LOL, the classic game knowledge, it translates pretty well. But it's also something you can start and there's no consequences for quitting because it's you against like 10 others or 9 others to begin
I've
with.
felt any consequences from not playing League of Legends either. So
it's a great game to pick up, like especially if I'm on the couch or something on dad duty and the kids are like just watching TV or something.
I did go and re-download Heroes of the Storm.
I was just going to suggest that we play that together.
Yeah, I sort of had a hankering for it. I haven't actually gone into play, but I did re-download it, and I re-downloaded Diablo 3 as well.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Just because I guess I was talking about Diablo 2.
That's 4-player co-op, isn't it?
Yeah.
Diablo 2's coming back.
Yeah, they're remaking
They're getting the remake.
Just looks like 3
trailer.
No, it looks closer to 2, I think. Like they've really... It looks like they're kind of taken the criticism that they got with
3.
Not even 3, with Warcraft 3, with their remaster about how it's really shit.
Right, yeah.
And I think that they're trying to make it as
faithful
as possible to the original 2 in terms of like gameplay and visuals. And so I'm down for that.
If they're going to do that, they just need to fix the netcode to make it usable now, and they need to just give it a higher res for what it had.
Yeah, well, because everything was just like low res renders, like they have to basically remake everything.
Yeah.
But it's looking good, and the animations for like the character attacks are looking very faithful. Good. So I'm cautiously optimistic.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to say that I'm like optimistic for it. I'll be cautiously on the fence.
Yeah,
I'll straddle it and wait.
Yeah,
but yeah,
they lost a lot of faith when they released that Warcraft.
They lost a lot of faith when they stood around
going,
"Don't you guys have phones?" Yeah, so yeah. It's fine if it's on mobile, just because it's not the game you want.
Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke?
I actually tried to play the League of Legends mobile version that finally came out.
Wild Rift.
Because you remember when you see, there was so many internet ads for a rip-off of it.
Yep.
League of
Angels or something.
Something like that. So now, like, Riot finally come out and like release their version. And look, if I'd never play League of Legends on computer...
Is there ads for Raid Shadow Legends in it?
No. Have you seen the ads? So, anyway, the mobile version's crap.
Okay. Cool. All right. Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But have you seen the ads? For some reason, it's like this barely dressed, like... I think she's Russian soldier who's like
the
cold
war
and
one,
wet.
like Kiss of War or whatever.
And she's like, "Help me!" Yeah, and it like zooms in on her ass within like seconds.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing.
It's like you're playing Mass Effect.
One of the other ads for that is like just the tightest jeans textured onto this modelled ass of her like walking into an army camp.
Oh, I've seen that one.
And like there's a Kiss of War.
Yeah. Is that like a gacha game?
I think so.
They're just getting bizarre. These ads.
I don't know. And it's got, you look at it too, and you're like, that's got nothing to do.
Okay. So there is an ad for a Fatal Fury gacha game, and then it's just like a bunch
just
of
nice.
it's a bunch of the female cast. Like, you
Yeah.
can tell this wasn't done by SNK.
Yeah.
A bunch of the female cast are sitting at like a ramen thing, just like on stools, just kind of eating ramen.
Right.
And then Terry motherfucking Bogard
Yeah.
just pops a fucking wheelie on a motorbike, rides past the girls, and just slaps each of them on the ass.
Classy.
And then wipes out. And it's like, what the fuck is this?
What
for?
is that?
It's
Wow.
Fatal Fury, baby.
That's not. That's. Okay.
And I booted up Cyberpunk because I haven't touched that in a while. So
Yeah.
Cool.
I've only
Booted
played
it
a
up.
couple of hours, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Sweet.
I'm at about 20 hours now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty respectable for me.
Yeah. Realistically for you,
Yeah.
it's 20 hours in anything that's not League of Legends is
I know.
surprising.
Oh, I don't want to look at the League of Legends.
If it's not League of
hours.
Legends, it's not Mass Effect. I kind of expect you to have pretty minimal playtime on that.
Yeah, to be honest, like Max Payne is also one of my all-time favorite games, but it's just not quite the same going back to playing the original.
Oh, yeah.
The last time I had a really good playthrough actually was when I was working for a company that we just got told had been sold off.
Yeah.
But we had to remain in operation for like 3 more months.
So your version of Operation was playing Max Payne.
So everyone went and found, because like we were like the massive tech, it was online gambling companies. It was all
Yeah.
nerds just maintaining it.
yeah.
And so it was a freeze on spending, couldn't do anything. It was just keep the status quo,
Jeez,
keep it
just
running.
sit there, yeah.
So you had half the company who would have 6-hour lunch breaks down at the pub.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then the other half, we would find any game that would run on a corporate desktop computer. So you would have like guys playing like massive Quake 3
Yeah.
arena on the LAN.
Sounds like a good job.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
they like my redundancy was like 20 grand because I had a clause in my contract. It was really funny actually. It was really unfortunate because a lot of these guys who had been there for like almost 10 years had old contracts.
Oh.
And they defaulted to the state like legislation on redundancy, like for how many of years of service. So they got like 6 weeks pay or something.
Right.
I had a brand new 3 or 4 year contract.
Right.
And I was only 12 months in.
Yeah.
And mine had an actual clause in there for redundancy that said for every 6 weeks remaining, you get paid for 2.
No.
Right. Okay.
So I got a huge like redundancy payout.
Yeah, for that.
And you're like, oh man, like because they were literally handing out the letters, calling out people's names, going here with the figures on it. It just felt kind of bad because like these old timers have been there forever. Like
I have $2.
yeah,
And which graphics card did you buy?
yeah, that's right. I don't know. Actually, the only thing I can tell you with any certainty that we bought with that money was Jess's MacBook Air that we still have.
I was going to
I
say,
think I
which
saw
is
it this
highly prevalent
I
in
like,
your day-to-day
I like
life.
how she gets a MacBook Air that she has forever and
Oh, yeah, I
your computer's
upgrade
constantly
within minutes.
evolving.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like we were playing Quake, but yeah, that was my last Max Payne,
Yeah, right.
like, proper playthrough.
Yeah.
'Cause
I always
it
found...
was so
You had
good.
3 months to do
Yeah,
it.
I always
Yeah,
found
exactly.
if I ever really wanted to go back and play a game again and not kind of go... Because it's a bit of a shock going from modern gaming to old gaming.
yeah,
Being
yeah,
like,
of
this
course,
looks very different. I always found back when we were doing game videos, Nick, recording gameplay, like you had a reason that you had to just soldier on to it. And some of like my favorite gaming moments have come from that as well because like it's just been I had to kind of like I sort of muscled through the parts of the game that weren't that very interesting, and then you would like uncover some gold. And that was always so rewarding as well.
Yeah.
Here's a question that I want to put to the group that I've been thinking about. What is the most tedious thing you have done in a video game willingly?
Tedious.
The most tedious thing that you go, in any other circumstance, I would turn this off.
Skyrim 5. So Skyrim 5. Like it was whatever. Skyrim. Skyrim.
There are about 5 Skyrims at least. Yeah.
Crafting. Crafting to get my armor.
Oh, really?
Crafting like that
okay.
was... I don't even know why I did it. I think it was to make like dragon bone armor, but by the time I got it and made it, I had already found
so
better
over it?
shit anyway, and I was so over it. I can't make myself ever do anything.
That was a quick
like
answer,
that
so that obviously stands out as
fucking stuck in my brain as something that I do not want to ever do.
Mine is honestly map completion in Guild Wars 2.
Oh yeah, you went
When you go out of your way to do it on purpose,
you went hard on that.
It's just one of those things that I'm like, I want to have full map completion for the convenience.
Yeah.
And you get when I think at the time,
You got something.
to build your legendary weapon.
Yeah.
You needed a gift of something that you only get from doing map completion.
Yeah.
So I've done map completion on like 3 characters.
That's right. You did it on
And
more than one, didn't you?
thankfully, no matter how much they added to the game, map completion was only considered to be the core areas. Thankfully, they never added
they didn't
more
chuck
than that.
the other ones in.
But they did change the percentile. So like if you did it when Guild Wars 2 came out, and it was just the core areas, you would be 100%.
100%,
But then if they added like 6 more sections of the map, you would get the gift of completion at like 67%.
Yeah, right.
And then it would annoy me
Yeah.
so much that I know there's 100% there. But yeah. But that's definitely the most tedious thing I've done. Then I've looked back on and gone, oh man, so many hours.
Yeah.
So many hours.
I replayed a particular thing in Guild Wars 1 in Cantha, in just to rank up a particular thing. I just kept doing the same couple of missions over and over again.
Yeah.
So I would have said crafting in Guild Wars 2, but Sam and I bought gold off Chinese gold farmers and then used guides to power farm through crafting.
Crafting is kind of painful.
It's really hard to say because like I kind of banish tedious stuff from my mind.
I thought you might struggle. You still go like...
Yeah, I don't know. Like it would either have to be something in like an MMO of some kind because like leveling is such a long slog. But because you're talking to people, you kind of don't really notice it.
I could name one for you.
Not the way I play MMOs.
Could you?
When I made you do Twilight Arbor dungeon in Guild Wars.
Oh yeah, I guess doing Twilight Arbor
about
over
200
and over
times.
Again, that did get pretty tedious.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Probably like just I play like a mobile game called Epic 7, and that has like a lot of like just tedium in it that is basically like dispersed over multiple weeks and months. So it's like if you tried to do it all at once, like it would just suck super hard. But if you spend like basically 5 minutes on it and you kind of don't really notice, but like looking back, it's like sure did do a lot of fucking work to get a pair of boots that have a speed on them. And it's not worth it at all. But yeah, it's hard for me to just say something off the top of my head.
I only think of it because we were in hospital, as you guys know. Everything's all right, but my eldest was in hospital for a bit. And when you're in the emergency department, it's the place where time stands still.
It's dead.
Yep.
But then we got out and he was all good. We left to go home and it's like, oh my goodness, it's like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
What happened to all that time? And so it's just like, oh, that's kind of like when I was doing map complete. It just, my brain made this really weird correlation.
But it was like map completion.
It's like when you're doing it, you're so conscious that it's taking forever. But then I look back on it and go, I did it 3 times. It can't have been that bad.
It was pretty bad.
So I was just curious because some games do have tedious bits to it.
See, I remember us actually jumping on a couple times, and we just kind of went, all right, cool, we're all on. We should play some Guild Wars 2. Josh is already on, so let's go in and see what's going on. We get in, and like
this isn't going to end well for me, is it?
You were in one of 2 modes, either. We go and do Twilight Arbor, or we just chat because you're doing map completion. That was like...
I was on a mission.
Yeah, Josh.
Oh, man. I have thought of something that was very tedious, and it was in one of the Disgaea games, maybe Disgaea 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Which is it's a tactical turn-based
hex
RPG.
tile kind of.
But what you can get items and level them up. But to level up the items, you need to go into a place called the Item World.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Item World is just basically like hundreds of levels, and like each level that you ascend in the Item World will actually level up your item one level. I think you can go up to like a max of 300 or something crazy
insane.
Like that.
That game's nutty.
But like that shit was tedious.
Yes,
and I did not do much of it.
It does not sound like a fun mechanic.
No, I didn't like it at all. Because like I guess you go, I'm getting my thing better, and if you really love like those types of tactical games, then like any excuse to like play is good.
Yeah.
However, I was more interested in furthering the story and then going like, you know what, you could just max this item up if you just, ascend 300 levels in the item world, and each colored tile will do a different thing, and everything's different colored tiles. There's so much to remember, and then I got the flu or a fever or something while that was happening when I was playing that game, and I had this horrible hyper realistic nightmare about being trapped in the item world. I never went back.
No,
I don't even blame you.
Damn, that'd do it. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. To be fair, see, because that's always been my thing with Disgaea. Is I think I've only played 4 and 5, no, maybe 3 and 4. I don't know, 2 of them that are sequential.
Yeah,
and it was just that thing where I was like, I want to just keep going.
Yeah,
but then it's like, look at how many systems there are.
Yeah,
and I just melted.
Disgaea is such a difficult one for me because I just don't have the attention span to go through the whole thing, but I really love the writing. Yeah, and I love the characters. Like they always have different characters in each game, and they're all really well done.
Yeah,
and they're it's always very tongue in cheek, very funny. But then you've got this like incredibly hardcore turn-based
intense
combat, and I just to the point where like you can. In one of them, you can just like take characters and pick them up and throw them, right? Like this is a way of like getting people like from one place to another.
Oh, okay,
once they've extended their movement.
Yeah.
However, you can also take those guys and throw them on top of each other, and they'll just have like
to stack them.
You'll stack them into this big tower, and eventually, like they'll be able to do like tower moves where like they're just smacking people as this massive tower, or roll up in a ball. And there's all like this crazy stuff, but there are so many things to keep track of.
Yeah,
and it's just.
What platform do you play on?
It's on everything at this point.
It was initially pretty much everything.
Yeah, it was initially a PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah,
but now it's on PC. I think it's on Switch, Vita.
There's an iteration on pretty much everything.
Yeah,
at some point. Yeah.
Josh is basically asking, is it on PC?
It is on PC.
Yeah, it's on PC.
I play other things. I have an iPad.
I don't think it's on iPad.
Oh, I thought you would be like, I play other things, insinuating that you don't just play League of Legends.
Other games.
I don't just play League of Legends. That reminds me, we were talking about strong narrative games. And I was like, there's a game I'll recommend to Dave that you should play if you like a strong, really good narrative game. This is a top 10 game for me. Block your ears, Nick.
Oh, no.
Spec Ops.
God, get fucked.
Spec Ops The Line.
Fucking hate you so.
Seriously, one of my, like... One of the all-time greats.
It's like objectively bad. I'm sorry.
Are we like talking marine CTU sharpshooter type thing, or not quite that
get what they were going for, but they
so
fucked
good.
It up.
They didn't.
Fucked it up. I'm getting mad.
I gotta admit, I never played that game past the demo, so I can't pass judgment on it.
It's, for me, narrative and just... I don't know. It's like what's that really famous movie that I can't remember the name of?
Apocalypse Now?
Yes. He knew.
No, I know. I just wasn't helping.
Where it's like, I don't know.
It wants to be a War is Hell movie.
Yeah,
but
I think it does it really well. I think it portrays...
Would if it didn't fuck itself.
The madness.
I feel like that's part of my problem with the game, is that I... could see what was happening, and like this was my problem with the game, and I'm going to try and say it without giving anything away, because I think
the statute of limitations on spoilers for this is long.
Well, I want Dave to play it, kind of. I want to see. I want to get more brains.
I may also play every now and then. I think I should do that. So.
But like, it is one of those things where it's like, okay, it wants to be a War is Hell movie.
Yep.
And like, what the kind of goal was, it wanted you to get kind of sucked in and feel like, you know, you were this guy and you were making these decisions, and these things were all affecting everything around you, and you had to take that in, and you would feel that weight on you.
Yes.
The problem is that like every now and then I was just like, it goes, oh, this thing. And I went, nah, but it won't let you actually take things in your own hands and do anything that you actually want to do. You just are doing the thing. And so I felt like I was actually in really mad because I was feeling really railroaded. And so that actually took me out of like being immersed in the game, because I was just like, but I say no. I say no. Fuck off. But it's like, nah, but that's the only way to progress the game.
Yeah, okay.
And so that actually took me a lot out of it.
Away.
Yeah. They had a couple really good moments in it, but there's just too much wank and they didn't do what they were supposed to do with it, I didn't think.
Okay.
So it just frustrated me, like, incredibly.
I'll probably check it out at some point.
Yeah.
One of these days.
I would recommend it. I'm just seeing that. So it was developed by Jaeger.
It was an Australian
Yeah, it was an
developer,
Australian
I believe.
developer, I think.
German.
Yeah.
German?
Really?
Yeah.
I think someone in Australia did something.
Yeah.
It was Dark Side Game Studio.
Maybe.
That could be it. I'm not sure. It's been a while now.
Yeah,
That was
it's
like
been- that
2012
was-
or something,
yeah.
hey?
Yeah, they were. No, that was Florida based. Yeah, don't know.
See, that game also is. They're one of the few games, I will give them this, they made a good decision in not making it co-op.
Yeah.
Because that was what they were going for. Like, even though you're part of like a 3-man set of guys throughout the thing, you kind of like at first you do actually kind of like I know I did initially was like, why isn't this co-op? Like, there's 3 of these guys. This feels like it would be, but I feel like that would actually detract from where the game tried to go. So yet again, it's that case of like, I can see what they tried to do.
Yeah.
They just
You don't think it was
fucked me on the
executed
way.
well?
Yeah, they just did not execute it the way that they should have executed it.
It's sad.
So-
Sad to announce that Jaeger now partly owned by Tencent.
Who isn't partly owned by
I was going to say, like, at this point, I'm waiting to find out the Tencent.
The other
partially
war
own
game
the-
actually that I really liked, but this was more a military sim. I don't know if you guys ever played Full Spectrum Warrior.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I
Years
don't
ago.
remember it at
No.
all. The name I
Years
remember.
ago.
Love that game. It was literally like you were
Oh, wait.
commanding a group of 4.
Yeah.
And you all had to
Yeah,
very, very tactical.
Did you
Yeah.
start off in like a desert in that?
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah,
ago.
Full Spectrum Warrior, the original Xbox, I think.
I remember
original
seeing
Xbox.
one of you guys play this.
Ben Rushton played it
Yeah.
a lot back in the day,
One on
and he got
Xbox
me into
somewhere.
it and was on PC. But that, and I'm going down the war rabbit hole now, but Black Hawk Down, the video game
Never touched it.
version of the movie.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, loved it.
Worth it.
One of my
Yeah.
favorite.
Jeez.
It's kind of FPS games.
Yeah.
But like I love that movie. That was really well
Yeah,
done.
that movie
and
was
then the
really
game
good,
just
so.
seemed like, because it was officially endorsed, like it was the same soundtrack.
Right.
I think Josh Hartnett did some voice work on it in the
Yeah.
game as well. So
Yeah,
it was just really well. And then they had like 3 or 4 expansions come out.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah.
Now, speaking about war zones, have you heard about Twitch? Things have gotten pretty bad.
Oh no.
You're calling Twitch a war zone?
It is a war zone.
Right,
It's a
okay.
DMC war zone.
Oh, with the music takedowns.
Yeah. So, but
yeah.
there was BlizzCon had a Twitch stream,
That's
and they had Metallica playing St. Anger, and Twitch.
which, like, objectively one of the worst Metallica songs.
Yes.
And Metallica are also infamous for the anti-piracy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But hilariously, Twitch went and said, we can't have this song.
Yeah.
It'll get DMCA'd. So they put like this really tinkly freaking farmyard music over it. And it just looks pathetic.
Yes.
And it is such an excellent example about how shit it's gotten over at Twitch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why now, I wonder? Where's the pressure coming from for them to actually...
It's been getting worse over time.
Yeah.
A lot
And,
of
yeah.
Twitch channels have been getting DMCA'd with their not on their live streams, but with like their
VODs.
past VODs.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
so like
okay.
they've had
There's a lot of LOL streamers I watch now
Yeah.
just disappear.
Yeah, a
And
lot-
then when they come back, like Tyler One, he constantly gets like 30, 40,000 League of Legends streamer. He just has the LOL soundtrack on repeat.
yeah.
And it's horrible.
Yeah, and that is because
I've listened to that for 11 years. I don't want to listen to it.
I figured.
that is because that there have been just like crawlers from the music industry
Yeah.
going in, watching VODs, identifying clips of music, and then sending that going like, this is
yeah.
breach of copyright.
Yeah.
And so now Twitch have been like super duper
Vigilant.
about it, and they're really cracking down on it. And no one can do anything more, and no one's allowed to have fun, and not even Activision are safe.
Yeah.
As a music publisher, how much do you realistically miss out? on revenue? None, I'm guessing. Because who goes to Twitch going, I want to listen to Metallica?
Who's going to buy your shit if they don't know what your stuff is?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm going to go to Twitch to listen to Metallica.
Yeah,
no one says
that.
Just because it's a backing track.
Yeah.
If anything, that might get you some listeners because there's bots on Twitch where people go like !music.
Yes.
And it like tells you what's playing because you want to go listen to it on. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
No, it's just
It's like the Australian government going, you pay our news outlets for news on Facebook that generates you clicks.
Yeah, how do you get...
How do you find that out?
We don't make enough money on the news that's coming from the websites. All right, well, we won't show it. Oh, no, our revenue stream.
Yeah.
Idiots.
But no, I feel like the thing with Twitch, I would understand if people were literally just like putting an album on there. If someone just went like...
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. If someone treated it like a music streaming platform illegally...
Yeah, that would be like, you've DMCA'd this because they've literally put this band's album out there. No, blah, blah, blah. It's like, that's fine. But if I'm like doing a fart compilation and I used fucking Sananga as the backing for it, I don't...
You fart to the tune of Sananga.
Yeah, like I don't feel like that should be
fart.
hit by that. Yeah. Like that's just it's literally underlining shit. Like that's it.
Yeah.
I call this one farts to of puppets.
Especially stuff like...
but most
like
of it's even more subtle than that though.
That was an official... So they obviously... would have probably paid to have that.
I feel like they clearly had Metallica's blessing because Metallica themselves were playing.
Exactly. Well, that's what I'm saying.
It was live.
Yeah.
Like, that would be a legality that we are streaming this. So go.
Yeah.
And so they would have had to sign up, go, yes, you're streaming this. Cool.
Yeah.
Hit the table again. Everything's making me mad. But I feel like that would have been a discussion that they would have already had.
You would think so. You think that it would be in a contract that you're going to come, you'll play for us,
yeah,
money,
we're going to stream it.
Rights
this is thing. That.
Yeah. But
so
not for Twitch. I think there was probably like an official Blizzard video.
Yeah.
But then they were also streaming it on Twitch, and then not only with Twitch going like, oh shit, but all the other people who were watching the stream and commenting on it went like, oh god. And had to freak out because they're going, I'm going to get DMCA'd. It's Metallica. Yeah. They're the worst ones.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the worst song.
It's insane how many bans are being handed out at the moment. And not even because of that. But I feel like Twitch are really cracking down on
everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Twitch, I think, kind of finally realised, it's been going on for a while, but I think they kind of realised how big their platform is and how many people are just doing whatever they want on that.
Yeah.
It's literally just that, people who can wield copyright law have
just gone space.
But it's not even that. Double Lift was streaming again. Lol. Surprised.
No one knows that.
And it was just a to me not even derogatory. I can't remember what the exact phrasing was, but he threw out an insult.
Yeah.
Right.
Not in chat, just said it to his viewers.
Said someone was a poop chump.
In the context of just poking fun at someone he knew. It was a fun...
Right.
I can't remember what. I really wish I knew what it was. But suddenly the chat was just going ban hammer, ban, ban. Like hundreds, like thousands. And I'm like, what did he say? I had to go back.
Just look it
up. And listen to it again.
Yeah.
And even now, if I could remember the word, I'm still not sure that's what they were talking about.
Well, let's not.
Sort of like numpty or something.
But it's just so weird that, it suddenly seems to be very policed.
Well, YouTube
went through a similar thing.
Yeah, YouTube did the same thing. I think last year before,
Even
they
before
got
that,
they
YouTube,
kind of amped it up.
Yeah,
to being what it is.
Did he say virgin? Yes,
he did. He said virgin. Yes.
Wow.
I forgot that you're not allowed to say virgin or incel.
What?
Yeah, if you say virgin or incel on Twitch, you get banned.
Why?
Yeah,
because
virgin.
Where did that come from?
Because I don't know. I think you're shaming people who haven't had sex yet.
Oh, fuck off.
Yeah, discussing the airline.
Yeah.
You're such a virgin, traveller.
You're such a virgin megastore.
Yeah. I forgot about that, but
wow.
Thank you. Yes, it was virgin, and that's why I was so confused.
That's even worse than I thought.
Because why is that bannable?
Yeah. That's intense.
They had some...
And context matters, but I understand that's hard to monitor.
Yeah, but in what context? You virgin?
You dirty...
How is that a particularly...
it's
you pure virgin.
like you
can't believe you haven't had your hole stretched out. You fucking virgin.
You can wield it as an insult, I suppose.
I guess.
Like it's very schoolyard, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like it's very like, oh no, I'm like 14.
The only thing that I can
worry.
think of is that somebody in who's like really high up in Twitch gets triggered when you call them a virgin. And that's the only thing that like they get triggered when you get called incel and a virgin.
Incel and virgin, yeah.
And they go like,
I think those two do go together.
They do realistically. Yeah.
What's an incel again?
Involuntary celibate.
That's right. But they blame women for not sleeping.
Generally,
well, it's women. They blame women for not being into them, but also they blame genetics because like they've got big brain but not big chin. So they're like a sub.
And this is a real subculture, isn't it? On the internet.
Yes,
so like a non-ironic people.
You should go to the brain cells for them. We're involuntary celibates because we're too smart.
Fuck.
It's great, but it's not great.
People are great. People are fantastic.
The internet is just a weird and wonderful place.
It's a weird place.
Yeah. I am totally against any kind of government censorship on the internet. I think it's the last vestige of true free. Well,
our government in particular has been leaning more and more towards knowing what you're doing and not
even the Brits. A couple of years ago, got rid of most of the porn.
That's right.
I don't think that they followed through with that.
No, they did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did something there.
But I don't think
the problem is everything's at the DNS ban level though, so it's just pop
a VPN on.
I don't think they did it
Europe
effectively enough.
No, well, I literally just punch in 8.8.8.8 as my DNS.
Yeah. Did you know that friggin' you needed a license to watch TV in Britain?
Yeah.
Oh, you still do?
You pay for TV.
I know it used
it's
to
how
be
they
a
get
thing
funding for the BBC.
Right.
Crazy.
Because I know that's like we used to have that as a
But the idea is it's then
Australians wouldn't pay for that shit.
But it makes it more impartial because the government can't take away their funding because they're not funding them directly. True. It's coming from the people who are
that is one of the reasons why the ABC...
You're actually supposed to have a license. They're talking about licensing if you want to watch it online.
Yeah, see that's actually one of the reasons why like the ABC itself down here is becoming like just this weird political dumping ground because they are funded by the government. Yeah. So they do have to
increasingly defunded.
Yeah, like they have to sit there and go, well, please don't get rid of everything altogether. I guess we'll say that you do smell like roses when you shit.
I was watching that that hearing that Kevin Rudd had where he was like kind of laying out why there should be a royal commission for the media, and they were kind of asking what about the ABC, and he's saying
Kevin A7
there just needs to be some legislation where like they're funded by the government but they're completely separate from the government, and you can't like add or take away funding for them based on how you feel about them. And like it isn't instituted.
It needs to be a separation.
Protected. It needs to be. Yeah. Like you need to separate a lot of that stuff. But yeah. I mean, I still remember the stories from when I was a kid where my grandfather, he's dead now, so he can't get fined for this.
ScoMo will find a way.
He'll find a way. I'll end up paying.
Yeah, you'll get charged.
Yeah, I'll get my $5 fee for what it would have been. But like he actually like one of the systems that came in and got introduced down here was TVs where you literally had a coin operated TV.
Oh
yeah, that was one of the ways that they did it. And then like once a week, a dude would come around like a fucking garbage man and like collect the money from your TV. And but the thing is, apparently it was just really open to fuck it, this coin's on a string.
Yeah,
so it was just in. Just back out. It's just so.
Clearly didn't catch on.
No, I'm assuming that got left in the dirt pretty quickly at some point. And I know that we went through like a TV license period, but that obviously stopped at some point. So
how do they police the licensing of?
Beats me.
My only real reference is from the younger ones.
Yeah.
It's the TV detective. Quick, eat the television.
Eat the television.
It's a toaster. Give it back. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's just I guess they go to your house and they're like, "Where's your license?"
Yeah.
Yeah. That if you've got a TV, you'd need a license for that.
It's up my ass.
Get it
Are you inviting them to
why
find
don't
it?
you go check?
Why don't you check?
Virgin. Ban.
I believe you'd say that,
like,
you incel.
That is one of the best moments in the Venture Brothers.
Yeah, it is.
Like they want.
Where's the key for this? It's in my ass.
Is that still going?
I don't even know.
It got cancelled end of last year towards this year,
okay.
but people have kind of like been going, that's not cool.
Yeah.
And they're
because I preferred that over Rick and Morty.
Venture Brothers is
to be honest,
absolutely
Venture Brothers
a
was way
way
better.
more fun show.
Yeah.
Like, and high quality.
Did you ever get into BoJack Horseman?
Yeah.
That's also pretty good.
Yeah.
I hate identifying with a horse.
I was about to say, I can see so many similar traits.
BoJack had crippling depression.
You listen to some of the shit that he says, and you've got to agree.
Yeah.
Like it's just how it
And
works.
alcohol dependency.
Yeah, but like they're looking at doing I think like maybe a movie or something to finish off.
Yeah,
Venture
okay.
Brothers.
Yeah, okay.
Because
the guy that does the voice, he's also in Emperor's New Groove as Gronk.
Yeah. Patrick Warburton. Is it?
I think, something like that. Because he
He's
was
also
the
in
tick.
Ted.
Like,
Yeah, he's also in Family Guy, everyone's favorite show.
The guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's also in Ted. Seth
he does
MacFarlane's.
heaps of voice.
Yeah.
He's
the
a
rounds.
pretty prolific voice
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah.
Love him. Love his voice.
His voice
Oh,
is
he's got a
very...
great
I
voice.
literally watched Ted 2 the other night with him, and I forgot he was in it.
Yeah.
Because it just got added to Netflix. And he's got small bits, but he's so funny.
Because he was
the bad guy in the B movie.
He was the tick, wasn't he?
Yes, he
he
was.
actually played the tick in the live action
the
one.
Tick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was amazing. So, it's just,
Was he in The Hangover as the cop that tased them in the
Yes.
balls in the head? Yeah.
Yeah. In the face.
Yes, yeah.
And I think...
I actually think it's a different guy now. Yeah.
Different guy, similar shaped head.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, different guy, similar
He
shaped
was in
head.
Seinfeld.
Never watched it.
He dated Elaine.
Never
you not
seen
watch
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld?
No.
You watch Friends like on repeat consistently.
I
but
watched
you haven't
Dawson's
watched-
Creek
You
in
can
the
only have
OC.
one.
Bring it on.
Yeah, that sucks.
But you brought it on to yourself.
You're beating the shit out of yourself, you goddamn
It's a
virgin.
compliment. Don't get us banned off our own
Get us
hosted
banned
platform.
Get us banned on Twitch.
All that streaming we do. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
I am gonna,
You're going to
next stream
just start
we do.
shouting virgin, aren't you?
I'm gonna have a moment where it's gonna.
This is Virgin on the Ridiculous.
Oh, jeez, it's just. No.
What about Vincel?
Although I feel like we aren't.
Makes it
big
sound
enough
like
to get
Vin
caught.
Diesel's not getting any.
He's always.
He
getting
wouldn't
some.
be.
I can guarantee it. He's got a level 80 Warlock. World of Warcraft.
All his friends are actually family.
I thought you were going to say he's got a level 80 forehead.
Yeah, it extends to the back. Oh. No, he hasn't got that James Hurley forehead, that Twin Peaks
Oh,
forehead.
God. We started watching Twin Peaks again.
Yeah.
And
Remember you
like,
invited me around for that marathon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just,
and then you just
read the wiki
Googled
for
the
it.
end and shit because you're a little bitch.
Terrible.
It's such a shit show.
It's so good.
I've never seen it, and
It's
it took me 5
amazing.
minutes to go,
No.
this is crap.
You
you're an idiot.
just got to admit that it's not for you because it's a great show.
It's an amazing show. It's one of the
Like-
cornerstones of our modern society.
So many things take reference from Twin
Didn't
Peaks.
they remake it? Or
They-
keep
they-
No, they
making
made
it?
another season.
They made another season.
25 years after it had aired, they made another season.
Yeah.
And they had they had when in the first show
Yeah.
someone told Coop that I'll see you again in 25 years.
Yeah.
25 years later.
Wow.
Yeah, it continues on.
Playing the long con.
Freaking
it was good.
David Lynch don't fuck around.
No, it was amazing. I love that show.
Me too.
Haven't seen it.
Really good.
It's really
Definitely
good.
recommend it.
Actually, I feel
Most
like
of these
probably
things you
would
talk
enjoy
about,
it.
I haven't seen.
Just
Yeah.
Wikipedia it.
Don't do
Don't
that.
do that.
That's the worst way to experience
Yeah.
it.
They were
That's why he doesn't
so
like
mad.
Yeah,
They was Crunchy and Trev were there, and everyone was just shooting daggers.
it's because it's literally
It's just
like
rude.
a mystery show.
Yeah.
Like it's,
I didn't read the ending.
Yes, you
I
did.
didn't.
You
I
said,
never
"Do you
read
wanna
the-
hear how it ends.
That was the first episode.
The words, "Do you want to hear how it ends?" were things that you said before you left.
This is why we
I
don't,
did leave.
Yes, you left. And
this is why we don't have marathons anymore.
Oh, whatever. I think if anyone in this group has done damage to marathons, it's you, Jamie.
What? For what?
Racky ran.
That wasn't a marathon.
There was a rush hour marathon.
No, we were just drinking.
That's only
That's where
3
you made
movies.
the
That's not much of
mistake,
a
Josh.
marathon.
You didn't tell him that it was.
Obi-Wan tripped over his
It
cloak.
was a shit movie.
Every single one?
Yes! It was the prequels!
To be fair, we only watched the prequels, so I'll give him that.
Because we had to stop.
We had to stop. Oh, good God damn.
Speaking of stopping.
Hey, I marathoned Attack on Titan. You sat me through that hellhole.
Oh, yeah, but that was...
I didn't Wikipedia the end of that shit show.
Yeah, I wonder why that was the one you didn't Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's
the one
actually
that was
any-
clearly the worst viewing experience.
Yeah.
Like, no, I gotta watch this one.
Yeah, I was going to say, if any that you were
Nick
gonna-
takes the cake, though, with bloody Scorpion King 4.
You didn't get through it. I can't even remember what movie it was that you wanted us to watch, but I was like, nah, if we're going to do that.
Which one of you crazy people
We gotta
made
get
us
through-
watch and then said you liked Iron Sky?
That was me and
Iron
Steve.
Sky's good.
There you go.
I haven't seen the whole thing, to be fair.
Me and Steve
it's
was
so-
sitting around and we were talking about it, and I was like,
You guys
oh, man,
were way
one of the
too into
movies
that.
We've got it's Iron Sky, and it is an amazing film. How good did it look?
Jamie fell asleep during Man of Steel.
Yeah, it was
Because
a
Man of
shit
Steel's a
movie.
shit movie.
Jamie, infamous for being awake at any moment you want
moment.
him to be.
Yeah. Nothing but
Falls asleep on the couch at 8 a.m.
that
8
movie
p.m.
is like a sweet lullaby.
Yeah, no, that was a terrible film. I still haven't ever watched it again because I just can't.
I watched it the other day.
That's because you're
Every now and then I watch it if I'm having trouble sleeping.
Yeah, just put it on in the background, lull yourself to sleep.
Instantly out.
You're putting the DVD in.
Yeah. I just look at the case, I die of boredom.
Man of
It was just not good.
I'm not going down this rabbit hole with you again.
No, because you're not going to win. You know that.
All right, then. I guess on that note, it's time for us to wrap things up. Thank you for listening, everybody. And until next time, I've been Jamie.
I've been Nick.
I've been Josh.
And I'm still Dave.
All right, goodbye.
Bye.